Stop scrolling, United fans. 3 massive Manchester United transfer stories have just changed everything. An £85 million target, a £70 million approved move, and one surprise exit. Let's get straight into it. An £85 million midfielder. A £70 million deal already approved. And a shock exit nobody saw coming. Manchester United's transfer window is heading toward its most explosive phase yet, and every detail is confirmed and verified. Manchester United have 1 month remaining before the transfer deadline on September 1st. The club have already signed Youri Tielemans from Aston Villa for £35 million and Andre Santos from Chelsea for £50 million. Despite these arrivals, midfield remains a priority area for Michael Carrick's squad as the club looks to challenge for major honours next season. Before we go further, if you want every confirmed United transfer update the moment it breaks, this is exactly why Final Whiz exists. Hit subscribe, tap that like button, and drop a comment telling me which of today's 3 stories surprises you the most. It genuinely helps this channel grow, and it costs you nothing. Aurélien Tchouaméni arriving from Real Madrid would represent a statement signing for United in the closing weeks of the window. The 26-year-old recently signed a contract extension with Real Madrid, and Spanish publication AS has reported that the Spanish club would seek around £85 million for his signature. Real Madrid's interest in Manchester City's Rodri could prompt Chumeni to consider his future elsewhere. United had earlier refused to pay high fees for players including Elliot Anderson, Sandro Tonali, and Mateo Fernandes. This refusal makes the Chouameni pursuit notable, since it would signal a departure from the club's cost-conscious approach used earlier in the summer. Chouameni would be viewed as an ideal fit for Carrick's midfield rebuild following Casemiro's departure from the club. If this deal is completed, Carrick would have Tielemans, Santos, Kobbie Mainoo, and Chouameni all competing for midfield positions. This would give United one of the most competitive central midfield units in the Premier League heading into the new season. United are also targeting Newcastle left-back Lewis Hall as a long-term replacement for Luke Shaw. The 21-year-old joined Newcastle from Chelsea for £35 million in 2023. Reports indicate that United are considering an opening bid worth around £60 million for the defender, and according to transfer expert Fabrizio Romano, an official approach for Hall has received internal approval at United. Hall remains under contract with Newcastle until 2029. However, significant changes at St James's Park could open the door to a departure. Newcastle have already seen Anthony Gordon, Sandro Tonali, and manager Eddie Howe leave the club in recent weeks, while Bruno Guimaraes is expected to follow in the coming days. Newcastle have generated approximately £170 million through player sales this summer. That figure could rise to around £250 million if Guimaraes completes a proposed move to Arsenal. Given this financial position, Newcastle face no pressure to sell Hall, which means United may need to increase their offer significantly to complete the transfer. United depended heavily on Shaw throughout last season, but the club has concerns about his ability to remain free from injury. Patrick Dorgu has also shown effectiveness when used on the left wing rather than at left back, adding further reasoning behind United's interest in signing a long-term successor. At the position, do you think United should pay over £70 million for a backup left back, or is that too steep a price? Drop your prediction in the comments below. I read every single one, and if you haven't subscribed to Final Whiz yet, now is the moment. We're building the most reliable source for confirmed United transfer news, without speculation or filler. Everton are considering a move for Manchester United striker Ethan Wheatley. The 20-year-old has featured in United's pre-season fixtures this summer, and reports indicate that Everton want to sign him on a permanent deal, though talks are not yet at an advanced stage. The interest comes with former United Academy director Nick Cox, who is now technical director at Everton. Cox was known to be an admirer of Wheatley during his time at Old Trafford. In 2024, Wheatley became the club's 250th academy graduate to make a first-team appearance, coming off the bench against Sheffield United in the Premier League. Wheatley spent the first half of last season on loan at Northampton Town, scoring 3 goals in 22 appearances in League One. He then moved to Bradford City in January as part of a promotion push to the Championship, but failed to score in 12 appearances there. The Stockport-born striker joined United's academy at age 9 and has represented England at under-17 through under-20 level. This potential exit comes as United weigh proposals for a loan move to the Championship for Wheatley this season, rather than a permanent sale. It also ties into a broader depth question in attack, where Benjamin Sesko and Joshua Zirkzee remain United's senior striker options, with reports suggesting Zirkzee could return to Serie A for around £30 million. Bournemouth midfielder Alex Scott is reportedly open to joining Carrick's squad this summer. The 22-year-old is drawing interest from multiple Premier League clubs, including Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal. Chelsea recently had a £64 million bid for Scott rejected by Bournemouth. Bournemouth are believed to value Scott at around £70 million, though competition for his signature could push that figure closer to £80 million. United's interest in Scott follows the collapse of their pursuit of Atalanta midfielder Ederson. This pattern reflects United's recent transfer strategy, which has generally favoured calculated, budget-conscious deals over marquee signings, a contrast to the potential Tchouaméni approach discussed earlier. Manchester United academy player JJ Gabriel made his first senior appearance for the club during a 2-1 victory over Atletico Madrid in Stockholm. The 15-year-old scored 29 goals for the under-18s last season, but had been ineligible to feature for the first team due to Premier League rules. Gabriel was named in his first senior squad the previous week for a match against Rosenborg, but remained on the bench as United won 5-0. Arnaud Calamuendo opened the scoring for the Spanish side early in the match against Atletico Madrid. United equalised from the penalty spot after Chido Obi won a penalty, which Brian Mbeumo converted. Mbeumo then scored a second goal after intercepting a loose pass and finishing from close range. Michael Carrick spoke to MUTV after the match regarding the performance and Gabriel's debut. He said, "I think collectively we look strong as a team, which is always the most important thing. Pretty much throughout the team, I think there were really good performances, and again seeing the young players coming on and having an impact. Jimmy Thwaite and JJ coming on at the end. They are 2 younger players again who get their first kind of taste for it for us." Carrick added, "It's always about getting the balance of how much do we push the players and how much do we save. At the moment, the boys are in a really good place." United next face Paris Saint-Germain in Gothenburg the following Saturday. Loving these young talents breaking through? Let me know in the comments which academy player you want us to track next. Dongfang Zhuo became the first East Asian player to sign for Manchester United when he joined the club in 2004 from Chinese side Dalian Shide for a fee of approximately £500,000. With add-ons that could have taken the deal to £3.5 million. Work permit issues prevented him from playing for the senior team, and he was loaned to Belgian club Royal Antwerp, scoring 1 goal in 9 appearances during his first spell there. Fang Zhuo did not earn eligibility to play for United until December 2006, nearly 3 years after signing. He made just 3 senior appearances before his contract was terminated ahead of the 2008-09 season. He later played in PSIR. Alex Ferguson convinced defender Chris Smalling to join Manchester United instead of Arsenal, despite Smalling growing up as an Arsenal supporter. Smalling told The Athletic, "In my head, I was going to Arsenal. Then Manchester United got in touch. I was leaving the team bus at Blackburn away and Fulham boss Roy Hodgson said, 'We've accepted a bid from Man United.' That threw me. I felt there were more opportunities to play at Arsenal, but I spoke to Fergie and he said, 'I wouldn't sign you if I didn't think you could play games.'" Smalling joined United for an initial fee of around £8 million, which rose to £12 million with add-ons. He made 323 appearances for the club, scoring 18 goals and providing 3 assists, and won 2 Premier League titles along with the Europa League during his time at Old Trafford. To summarise today's confirmed developments, Tchouaméni remains linked at £85 million. Lewis Hall's move has received internal approval with a £60 minus £70 million bid being considered. Ethan Wheatley faces shock interest from Everton, and Alex Scott remains open to a switch to Old Trafford. Deadline day on September 1st is approaching quickly, and each of these stories could shift United's squad significantly before the window closes. If you made it this far, you're exactly the kind of United fan this channel is built for. Hit subscribe to Final Whiz right now, turn on notifications, and drop a like on this video. Every subscription helps this channel bring faster, more detailed United coverage before anyone else. Comment your prediction for United's next confirmed signing before deadline day. I'll be reading and replying to as many as I can.